Okay, so another 20 minutes has passed, and I took out another batch of fleece from the second rinse. And as you can see, the fleece itself is actually looking a lot cleaner. And I can see a lot of the little pieces of VM that are in there. Again, like I said, that's going to come out when I do further processing. What I want to show you is the water here. So that's getting much clearer. You know, I could do another rinse with this if I wanted to. Or if, you know, I can just say that is good. The dishpan water here, it's got a little bit of soap residue left in it, not much. And it's a little dirty, but it's not that bad. So I'm going to call it good on this batch here. And that, again, like I said, if I really wanted to, I could do a third rinse on this. But stuff is going to come out when I do my processing, when I do my combing or my carding. It's also, things will come out when I spin it. And then I always set my yarn. Once I make my yarn, I spin it up, and that I go and I set the twist. And I'll have any little bit of remaining dirt comes out of my yarn also at that point. So at this point, if you wanted to dye your fleece and that, I wouldn't worry about spinning a lot of the excess water out of it, because you're going to be you could go and put it right back into a pot and do low immersion dyeing on it. This, however, I haven't decided exactly what I want to do, so I am going to spin out as much of the water as I can in that, because this is going to help the drying process. I have a herb drying rack that I got off of Amazon last year. Can't remember exactly how much I paid for it, but it's got a whole bunch of little shelf compartments, and I'll show you guys that in a moment. But what's nice is I can go and I can put my fleece that I just finished washing, and there's probably not going to be much water coming out of this, but I can put my fleece that I just finished washing into this rack and I have mine actually just hanging off of a hook on my ceiling in my living room. You can put it outside and that, although I have been having a lot of rain lately, and so yeah, if I want anything to dry, I do not want it going outside. And there's the other batch that we're going to spin the water out of. So dump that right into there, arrange that just a little bit, flatten that out, and then we'll spin. And we'll check the water on this one too, just to make sure that it's not overly dirty. But more than likely, it's probably going to be very similar to what we just had that came out. But with this mesh drying rack, you know, if you wanted to, you could put it outside and let the sun and the wind and that help with drying your fleece. So yeah, there's that water. It's, you know, it's a little bit dirty, it's a little cloudy, but it's not bad. Another rinse would probably have it coming out clear if I wanted to do that. But I find that if I go and I get this excess water out, this is going to dry my fleece faster. And that the other thing is making sure that when I put my fleece into the rack for drying, that I don't put so much fleece in the area so that it can't breathe, and that I want air circulation around it to help dry it quicker. And have to be careful if you open that lid up when it's still spinning, because as this stuff gets cleaner and as it goes and you get more of the water out of it, I have had pieces of fleece kind of fly out on me and that. So, you know, sometimes you go, oh yeah, I maybe should let that slow down for just a moment before you take the lid off. So I'll show you in a moment my drying setup. Also, I'll show you another idea you can do if you have like a sweater rack and that, to set up a small drying area. All right, in just a moment here. Okay, so this is my drying rack that I got. What's nice about this one is it has the zipper enclosures. So if you put it outside, I'll show you up at the top there. If you put this outside and if it's windy, and that some of these herb drying racks, they have an open space and it doesn't close. And you know, you have the risk of, you know, your fleece getting blown out of it, or, you know, if you have birds or something, you know, birds coming and stealing your fleece and that. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this up into the drying rack, and then I'm going to show you my other setup also. Okay, so my other drying setup that I made is with a sweater rack that I found this at the Goodwill for pretty cheap. And I have some tulle, and dog is nosing the phone. I have some tulle that I cut a piece and I wrapped it around the bottom here. And what I did was I brought the edges around and then I clothespined it into place. And that it's not going to hold a lot of weight, but as long as you know you have most of the water out of your fleece, this will work. And what it does is it allows your air circulation to go through, and it allows this fleece to sit there and to dry. And also, if you go and you take a lot of that excess water out, you're not going to have the dripping the same way as if you just took the fleece out of the water and then just put it out to dry. And if I wanted to, I could set up another shelf across this set here, and then I could also put something up at the very top here, and I could increase my drying space. So hopefully this was helpful for you guys. You know, maybe had some tips, you know, maybe learned something new about with scouring wool. And hopefully this will help some people, especially as you're starting out. You know, read up on things, look at, you know, watch videos, you know, and try different methods. You know, what works for me might not work for other people. You know, and this is something that I've continued to try to, you know, to figure out the best method that works for me. And I'm sure, you know, given another year, given more fleeces, you know, this is going to change. You know, again, you know, like I said, you know, using this method, I have yet to have a fleece felt on me. This is actually some Rambouillet that I had gotten, and and I was one of my first fleeces I ever spun up, which was kind of a challenge. But yeah, this I just washed earlier this morning. Still has a little bit, I can feel a little bit of lanolin still in there, but not bad. You know, nothing that I would be worried about using my tools on. And you know, I don't want full lanolin, you know, with my drum carder or my cards, my hand cards, or even my combs. You know, you want to protect those items, those investments. You know, they're a lot of money. But this the Rambouillet, this is I'm not sure what the micron count is on it, but I would say, you know, it is probably down around the point of where like a merino is, and that it's, when you feel it, you can feel it's very soft, and using the method that I have, that I've, you know, kind of figured out for myself, you know, I was able to wash this fleece, or this portion of fleece, without any difficulty, with no felting, and that it's come out pretty clean. A little bit of dirt in the tips, but those will come out. So hopefully this helped you guys in that. If you have any questions, please let me know, and have a good time. Thank you.